Script title: Over 60? Drink beet juice. With this before bed and watch. What happens? Script: Your blood pressure naturally spikes right before you wake up. And for anyone over 60, that early morning window is statistically the most dangerous time of day for your heart. Today, I'm going to show you a weird, dark red drink combination you need to take right before you go to sleep. I'll give you the exact 2-ingredient recipe that acts like a nighttime pressure release valve for your entire body, helping you wake up with zero brain fog. But listen closely. If you just drink beet juice by itself, you are throwing away 80% of the benefits because of one missing nutrient. Stick around so you don't make that mistake. Why do we wake up feeling stiff, tired, and heavy as we age? We usually blame it on getting older. We tell ourselves that waking up with cold hands, aching joints, and a foggy brain is simply the price of admission for making it past your 60th birthday. But the real culprit is a silent microscopic crash happening inside your veins overnight. By the time you hit 60, your body has lost the ability to keep your blood vessels relaxed while you sleep. They clamp down. They get tight. They become rigid. When you are young, your blood vessels are like highly elastic rubber bands. They stretch and bounce back effortlessly with every single heartbeat. But as the decades pass, those rubber bands turn into stiff, unyielding garden hoses left out in the winter cold. So, how do we manually override the system and force our vessels to open back up? We have to look at the chemistry of your blood. And the reason your body stops doing this naturally at age 40? You won't believe it. It all comes down to a tiny, fleeting molecule called nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is a miracle molecule. Your body produces it specifically to tell your blood vessels to relax and widen. It is the ultimate biological vasodilator. When nitric oxide enters your bloodstream, it signals the smooth muscle cells wrapped around your veins and arteries to let go of their tension. When they let go, the vessel widens. Blood flows effortlessly. Oxygen reaches your brain, your organs, and your fingertips without your heart having to work overtime. At age 20, your body makes plenty of this stuff. You have a massive reserve of nitric oxide. But by the time you reach age 60, your natural production of nitric oxide plummets by up to 85%. You're running on biological fumes. Your vessels lose that natural chemical signal to relax. If you're over 60 and you're noticing your energy just isn't bouncing back in the mornings like it used to, hit that like and subscribe button, because this next part is going to completely change how you start your day. Let's talk about the sleep danger zone. During the night, your blood pressure naturally dips as your body enters deep rest. But in the early morning hours, usually between 4 a.m. and 6 a.m., your circadian rhythm kicks in to wake you up. To do this, your body pumps out a heavy dose of cortisol and adrenaline. This chemical alarm clock causes a sharp, sudden spike in your blood pressure. Now, if you are 20 years old with highly elastic blood vessels full of nitric oxide, your body handles this morning spike easily. The vessels simply stretch to accommodate the pressure. But if you are over 60 and your vessels are stiff and depleted of nitric oxide, that morning cortisol spike is incredibly rough on your heart. Your heart suddenly has to pump thick, sluggish blood through narrow, rigid pipes. This exact biological event is why the early morning hours are the most common time for severe cardiovascular events. It is a daily stress test on a system that is already struggling to keep up. But the craziest part about this juice combo is still coming because we can actually hijack this morning cycle. This brings us to the beetroot baseline. Beets are packed with something called dietary nitrates. When you consume dietary nitrates, your body goes through a fascinating process to convert them into that miracle molecule, nitric oxide. But for older adults, drinking a glass of plain beet juice usually isn't enough to last through the night. The benefits fade away before the morning danger zone even hits. To fix this, we need to understand how the beetroot highway actually works in your body. When you take a sip of beet juice, the dietary nitrates wash over your tongue. You actually have specific friendly bacteria living on the back of your tongue right now. These bacteria have one job. They convert the nitrates from the beet juice into a new compound called nitrites. This is a good time to mention a quick side note. If you use harsh, alcohol-based mouthwash right before bed, you are instantly wiping out these friendly bacteria. You are killing the exact microscopic workers you need to make this process happen. So, skip the harsh mouthwash if you want this to work. Once the bacteria on your tongue convert the nitrates into nitrites, you swallow the juice. It hits your stomach acid. The acidic environment of your stomach takes those nitrites and converts them into pure nitric oxide, which is then absorbed directly into your bloodstream. Think of your blood vessels as a one-lane dirt road backed up with heavy traffic. It takes forever for cars to get anywhere. When that nitric oxide hits your bloodstream, it instantly paves that dirt road into a smooth 5-lane highway. Blood, oxygen, and vital nutrients can suddenly cruise effortlessly throughout your entire body. Your heart doesn't have to push so hard. The pressure drops, the tension melts away. But here is the fatal flaw of nitric oxide. It is highly unstable. Once it enters your bloodstream, it degrades and falls apart in a matter of seconds. It gets attacked and destroyed by free radicals, which are unstable atoms that roam around your body causing oxidative stress. By the time you hit your senior years, you have a lot of free radicals and very little nitric oxide. So even if you drink a big glass of beet juice, the nitric oxide you create gets destroyed almost immediately. It is like trying to fill up a bathtub with a massive hole in the bottom. This is where we find the missing link. The secret ingredient that changes everything is vitamin C. You can use a fresh squeeze of lemon juice, orange juice, or a high-quality vitamin C powder. Vitamin C does two incredibly important things when you mix it with beet juice. First, vitamin C acts as a powerful antioxidant shield. It hunts down and neutralizes the free radicals in your blood before they can attack your nitric oxide. Second, vitamin C physically stabilizes the exact enzyme in your body responsible for making nitric oxide. That enzyme is called ENOS. If beet juice is the massive engine making your car go fast, vitamin C is the armored shell protecting the car from crashing. When you combine the two, you aren't just creating a quick burst of nitric oxide. You are creating a stabilized, long-lasting supply of it that survives in your bloodstream for hours. If this nitric oxide trick is making sense to you right now, drop a comment below and let me know, and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss our other longevity hacks. We're just getting to the best part. Timing is everything with this protocol. This is the nighttime cheat code. You don't want to drink this in the morning. You want to drink this specific combination 1 to 2 hours before you go to bed. Here is the science behind the timing. When you drink this red lemonade, it takes about 2 to 3 hours for your blood nitrate levels to reach their absolute peak. By drinking it 90 minutes before sleep, you guarantee that the massive spike in nitric oxide hits your system right as you are entering your deepest phases of sleep. Deep sleep is when your body performs its heavy cellular repair. It is when your brain cleans out toxins. It is when your muscles rebuild. By flooding your system with stabilized nitric oxide during this exact window, you are giving your body the ultimate repair environment. Your blood vessels are wide open. Oxygen is flowing freely to every damaged cell. Because you added the vitamin C, the nitric oxide doesn't degrade instantly. It lasts through the night. It acts like a biological pressure release valve, keeping your vessels relaxed and wide open all the way into the early morning hours. When that 5 a.m. cortisol spike hits, your vessels are already relaxed. They easily absorb the pressure spike. The danger zone is completely neutralized. But this isn't just about protecting your heart. We need to talk about the brain fog and energy payoff. And wait till you hear what this does to your brain fog by 8 a.m. Your brain is a massive energy consumer. It only makes up about 2% of your total body weight, but it demands 20% of your body's entire oxygen supply. As we age and our blood vessels stiffen, the microvessels in our brain slowly get choked off. The brain literally starts starving for oxygen while we sleep. When you wake up feeling groggy, confused, and heavy, that is the physical sensation of a brain that spent the last 8 hours suffocating. Opening your blood vessels overnight means your brain gets a massive, uninterrupted oxygen bath while you sleep. Older adults who use this specific protocol report waking up feeling like they had an extra 2 hours of sleep. They don't need 3 cups of coffee just to remember their own name. Their brain is already fully oxygenated and firing on all cylinders the second their feet hit the floor. Let's look at a groundbreaking real-world example. Researchers at Wake Forest University wanted to see what beetroot juice actually does to the aging brain. They gathered a group of older adults and gave them a beetroot juice supplement right before they did some light exercise. The scientists then scanned the participants' brains. What they found was absolutely staggering. The neural networks in the brains of these older adults physically changed. Because of the massive increase in oxygen flow and blood circulation, the older brains began to closely resemble the brains of much younger adults. The connections became stronger. The neuroplasticity improved. The brain was literally waking up and repairing itself simply because the blood vessels finally opened up and let the oxygen inside. We also have massive clinical trials looking at blood pressure. Researchers have consistently found that a daily dose of dietary nitrates from beetroot juice lowers blood pressure in older adults almost as effectively as some low-dose prescription medications. And unlike synthetic medications that force your heart rate down and often leave you feeling dizzy, cold, or chronically fatigued, this natural combination works with your body's own chemistry. It gives your system the exact raw materials it needs to heal itself. I'll share the exact measurement in a second, but first you need to understand why this works on a practical, everyday level. Let's look at a hypothetical 65-year-old named John. John usually goes to bed around 10 p.m. He normally wakes up at 3 a.m. to use the bathroom, and when he gets back in bed, his hands are cold. His mind is racing, and he can hear his pulse pounding in his ears. He tosses and turns until 6 a.m., then drags himself out of bed feeling like he got hit by a truck. John decides to swap his late-night glass of water for this red lemonade combo. He drinks it at 8:30 p.m. By 11 p.m., right as he is in deep sleep, his blood vessels fully dilate. The tension drops. His heart doesn't have to pound to circulate blood. The oxygen flows heavily to his extremities, keeping his hands and feet warm. The oxygen bathes his brain, keeping his nervous system calm. He sleeps straight through to 6 a.m. and wakes up feeling light, alert, and actually ready to start the day. The magic happens because he stopped fighting his body and started feeding it. The nitric oxide degradation is a massive roadblock as we age, and that's exactly why the magic ingredient flips everything upside down. By shielding the nitric oxide with vitamin C, you are extending the half-life of this miracle molecule long enough to get you through the most dangerous hours of the biological clock. Quick reminder to hit subscribe if you're getting value out of this. Now, grab a pen, because let's look at exactly how much of this you need to drink tonight. The exact recipe protocol is incredibly simple, but you have to get the ingredients right. You need 4 to 6 ounces of pure, no sugar added tart beet juice. Do not buy the cheap stuff loaded with apple juice and high fructose corn syrup. Sugar causes inflammation, which damages your blood vessels and completely defeats the purpose of this drink. You want the dark, earthy, pure beet juice. You can find this in the natural foods aisle of almost any grocery store. Pour 4 to 6 ounces into a glass. Next, take 1/2 of a fresh lemon and squeeze the juice directly into the beet juice. If you don't have fresh lemons, you can use 1/2 of a small orange or a scoop of high-quality, pure vitamin C powder. Ascorbic acid is what you are looking for. Stir it up. It will look like a dark red lemonade. Drink this entire glass exactly 90 minutes before you plan to go to sleep. Do not chug it in 5 seconds. Take your time. Drink it normally over the course of 5 or 10 minutes. Remember, the process starts with the bacteria on your tongue, so let the juice actually wash over your mouth before you swallow it. After you finish the glass, just go about your normal evening routine. Read a book, watch some television, brush your teeth. Again, avoid the harsh, alcohol-based mouthwashes. Use a gentle toothpaste. Get into bed. Let the chemistry take over. You might notice that your urine turns a slight pink color the next morning. Do not panic. That is completely normal when you consume pure beets. It is just the natural pigment passing through your system. It is a sign that you drank the real thing. The big takeaway from all of this is that aging doesn't have to mean a slow, inevitable decline into stiffness, joint pain, and chronic fatigue. Your body isn't broken. It isn't failing you on purpose. It is just starving for oxygen because your blood vessels are clamped shut. You simply ran out of the chemical signal needed to keep them open. By combining the raw dietary nitrates of beet juice with the stabilizing antioxidant power of a simple squeeze of citrus, you are giving your cardiovascular system the exact chemical keys it needs to unlock and heal while you sleep. You are rebuilding your body's natural defense mechanisms from the inside out. Let's go back to that dangerous morning blood pressure spike. Every single day, thousands of older adults face severe health scares simply because their blood vessels couldn't handle the morning rush of cortisol. Their rigid veins couldn't stretch. Their hearts had to push against a brick wall. When you drink this simple combination tonight, tomorrow morning won't be a danger zone. Instead of a brick wall, your heart will find a wide open, smooth highway. Instead of waking up feeling heavy and suffocated, you'll wake up primed, fully oxygenated, and ready to actually enjoy your day. You don't need a miracle to feel youthful again. You just need to know how your body actually works, down to the microscopic level. You have the power to change your blood chemistry tonight. Your kitchen is your best pharmacy.